My name is James Williams Jr. This is Company Habit number 2. So, if you've been up to speed, you know I have 62 followers and counting. And as grand as that may be, I would love to have double that. Or at least triple that. Hell, let's quadruple that. So I'm going to make this video now. And this video is probably going to offend. If this video does offend, please take this with a grain of salt. So, this video is going to be topic racism. Alright? And the reason why I'm making this video is really quite simple. With all the racist rants that have been going on by our president, the red-headed demon seed in charge, we need to have a sit-down discussion. Alright? Blacks, whites, Asians, we need to get our shit together. I've made videos about racism before. I've made a CFT of videos before. For those who don't abbreviate, cluster fucking ton. CFT of videos about racism. Apparently nobody's getting the message. Alright, me being part Native American, part black and part white, I personally don't believe I have the right to be a racist. Does not mean I've never made a racist statement in my life. Does not mean I've never used the word nigger. I've never used the word honky. Now, I will say, with the exception of making these videos, when it came to dealing with other races, I've never gone out my way to call Mexicans wetbacks, or Chinese, Korean, and Japanese people gooks, and all the other racial innuendos. I have been a victim of racism all my life, and being partially Native American, you know how many times I've been called chief, if you've been watching my videos. The thing with racism, you know, it is the one thing that America should be the biggest shame that we have. Not slavery, but the aftermath of slavery. Not the entrapment camps to the Japanese, but the aftermath of that. The fact that no one wants to acknowledge it. The fact that no one wants to address it. The fact that everyone wants to go their own way and just pretend like that shit didn't happen. Well, here's a newsflash for you. There's a thing called history books. History books in school don't teach you about the Japanese internment camps. They don't teach you about how the Chinese and the Native Americans and some Japanese made the railroads. They give you glimpses, but they don't give you a full fucking history. Because to know all that, you need to go to college where they can give you the real defecation of America. Alright? And I said defecation for a reason. I didn't really want to just go out and say S-H-I-T, which I probably should have did the sugar honey iced tea thing, but who cares? The fact of the matter is that in America, you have freedom of speech, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what you have to understand is that there is a time and a place for everything, and there is never a time or really a place to be a racist. Alright? If you want to be racist and you racist at home, that's fine. Many people get hurt for being racist in public. And now, with the current administration, racist people have just come out of the woodwork. Not ashamed. Well, I'm proud to be a racist. I don't like black people. I don't like white people. I don't like Asian people. I don't like Mexican people. I don't like Native Americans. I don't like half-breeds. Like you. So, as a young person, as a young child, I have been through all the racial slurs that you can possibly identify with, because most people have no idea when they look at this face on what the hell I am. With my skin color, you know, people can say, oh yeah, he's partially black, he has some black in him, but we don't know what else he's mixed with. I got stories, trust me on that. I have stories and adventures on places where I've been where people were like, no habla español. Yo soy, what muy bien. And I'll be straight up, yo dude, I'm not Mexican. I don't speak Spanish. Yeah, when they be like, you're not Mexican. It's like, nah, I'm mixed, but I'm not Mexican. And they'll be, oh, I'm sorry. And they'll go on about their business. Still cool, you know. And when it came to like Filipinos or Hawaiians, they're like, oh, you part Hawaiian? You part Samoan? You something? I've been them all. The problem is I'm Cherokee Indian, black and white. That's it. I explain this in a lot of my videos for the simple fact that I have been the victim of racism all my life. You know? And I understand that people hate people due to their race, ethnic background, and culture. Cultural differences that people don't seem to understand. But I can almost guarantee you that if everybody took a break and sat down and talked to people about why you don't like someone because of their ethnicity, who in this culture did something to you that was so horrendous that your family carried it from generation to generation, and that you are raising the next generation of children to hate people for the one thing that God gave them that they can't change. You know, if I wanted to be a chick at 45, it's a little late for me to be transgendering, but they can give me hormones so that I can get like probably a size A and a half breast, and then they gonna whack off my best friend down there and his two bellies and do whatever the hell it is that they do. But at 45, I'm partially attached to my nether regions and I like to keep them. So, being transgender is not my thing. I'm also not gay. So that would be pointless. But I'm making a point in this statement, okay? Because I can change my gender. You can change your gender. And then there's this new thing I learned. I made a video about it, pansexual. I'm still trying to figure that shit out. But apparently it's I guess it's like gender neutral or whatever that. Like, man, I'm still trying to figure it out. But the point of the matter is, you can change your gender. You can't change your race. I can go bathe and bleach for about 5 years. I'm still gonna be brown, unless they go take it and inject that shit into my skin. And if I survive the process, I'm gonna be Captain America. No, just kidding. I'm going to become a white man. Okay. There's a comedian named Mooney. I can't remember his first name, but his name is Mooney. He was on Dave Chappelle, and he said, "Ask a black man." And I'm going to quote him with this. So, quote unquote. In one of the episodes of Dave Chappelle, he said, "Everybody want to be a nigga until the police show up. Then nobody want to be a nigga no more." Okay? 20% of that quote is probably 1,000% true. There was times when I really wanted to be a white man. Let me explain. There was this white girl in high school that I really, really, really liked. Her family was not keen on interracial relationships. I put a love letter on her car, and we had a little discussion. I needed to make her hate me so that I would have a reason to hate her, so that I would not be in love with her anymore. Shout out to her. I'm not going to dig into names and stuff like that. She knows who she is, though. So when I found out that her family didn't like interracial couples, or she could have black friends but she could never marry or date black men, it kind of made me take a setback, because you could be losing out on a great thing when you come from a family that specifically teaches their children to hate people due to the color of their skin, which is the one thing, or their cultural heritage, that you cannot really change. I'm mixed, so let's get that straight. I'm proud of all three of my ethnicities until one person of each ethnicity decides to do something stupid. And I'll let y'all know, I don't discriminate. If a white person does something stupid, I post it. If a black person does something stupid, I post it. And if a Native American or anybody of Asian descent does something stupid, I post it. Especially if I don't agree with the hell they were doing. A young white man killed a young Asian college kid, and he just got some serious time. And he deserved that time, because she was overly trusting, and she got in the car and he supposedly raped her and he killed her. All right. When the Blacksburg incident happened here in Virginia, Shung Hee Cho, whatever the hell his name is, Korean kid who had rifles, who went to school and killed 16 people on April the 16th. We remember these things. So I usually, when I post stuff like that, if it's a black person, I thank them for making it worse for black people than it already is, and y'all know this. If you read my Facebook pages, same thing with Asian people, same thing with white people, same thing with black people. If I see it and I think that it's going to do something to affect how people are going to treat me, I will say thank you for making it harder for such and such a race, because that's what they do. Here's what happened in the real world. When 9/11 happened, people stopped looking at black people like we were pieces of shit. Alright? They started looking at Arabian people who are biologically of Asian descent, according to whatever Scientology thing you want to go with, because technically there's 3 breeds of human beings, and Asians are classified as Mongoloids, blacks are classified as Negros, and Caucasians are classified as Caucasianists or whatever the fuck that shit is. This is all scientific. Y'all can go Google that shit because I pretty much have said it all wrong and it sounds completely racist as it just flew out my mouth. However, it wasn't supposed to sound racist, but there it is. Anyway, most of the world has more Asian people in it than others. You know, with all due respect, except for people like me who was multicultural, we're a small number, but we exist. And a lot of the things I've done, a lot of the things that I try to do on here is to fight racism and injustice for the simple fact that I was a victim of racism since I could come to school. You know, when I was younger, I just thought I was black. I never knew I had Native American in me. I never knew I had white in me until people pointed that shit out. You know, and that's how it is. You know, when you're growing up and you're growing up mixed, you just think you're a regular ass human being. You know, because when you see your parents, you see your parents. You don't see them as the ethnicity that they are. You don't. When you see a black man with a white woman, and you see an interracial couple and their baby, they raise their baby to be an interracial child that knows the best of both worlds, black and white. And definitely have to know the worst of both worlds. Because there will be a lot of people out here in the world who will hate your child because they're mixed. There will be a lot of people in this world who love your child. Most of them will be family. But it really depends on who's bringing up the family. Which goes back to the beginning. I want to know, because there are a lot of racist people. Don't all think that just white people are racist, because that's bullshit. There's just as many racist black people, and there's just as many racist Asian people. Now, I've met a few of them. You know, I've been a victim of a few of them. We all need to sit down and find out why or who did what to what member of our family that decided we're going to carry this with us for every generation. We're not going to let this shit go. If I'm an Asian woman and I was raped by an Asian man and I had his baby, and I make sure that all of my babies from then until I breathe my last know we stay away from the Guaylo, the Gaijin, the Yanzi, whatever the hell you want to say for black people. We stay with our own because of this rape. I understand that. But they have a right to choose who they want to date. Now, let's all be real. You can't help who you fall in love with. You have a preference. If you really love Asian women, that's great. I really love Asian women. If you really love white women, that's great. I love white women too. If you really love black women, I love black women too. But here's the difference maker. I choose who I want to marry. Because if I'm going to have a kid, I'm not going to have a kid with someone just for the sake of having a kid. Because that's not what you do. You marry and you procreate for love, at least you're supposed to. And not just to say, okay, well, here's my legacy. I'm going to have this kid with this woman that I can't stand. And I'm stuck with this broad for life. Because my child, whether it be a boy or girl, will love us both. If not equally, one more than the other, but they will love us both, and they will have to take and ride down the middle. They will hear sides from both sides. And, well, your daddy's no good, he's a son of a bitch, blah, blah, blah. Your dad will pop back up, well, your mother's just a bitch and a whore. And the kid will be jerked from middle to middle. I know this personally because it happens in a lot of families. It didn't necessarily happen in my family, but events like that happened close by. My dad has never uttered one bad word about my mom. I can't say that about my mom versus my dad, but I can say that everybody on my dad's side had nothing but high praises for my mom. Now, I can't say everybody on my mom's side had high praises for my dad. And that'd be the truth. That's me sugarcoating the shit that went down. In other words, that's your 99.9. Now, as I grow up, I got to decide which truth do I want to go with. Do I want to go with the family of my mom's side or my dad's side? Or do I want to walk that middle and go with what's right and what's wrong from both sides? I've chose to walk the middle and go from what's right and what's wrong on both sides. Now, as a child, I had my own shitload of problems. Because when I went to school, as long as my mom didn't show up, nobody knew we had white in us, which was cool. I just thought I was lucky and had good hair. Because, believe it or not, some full black people have good hair. Most of those people hail out of Egypt, but you know, there you go. And they come out of the clans of the Moors and stuff like that. And then you have some black people who don't have good hair traits. Doesn't make them any less human or any less better than anyone else. They're just not from that clan of black people. That's it. You can't change that. When I tell you I make videos about the black color wheel, all that shit has something to do with that and this. When I was a kid, up until my mom showed up, nobody knew that I was mixed. We just thought I was black. And then my white friends had to go and point it out when my mom showed up. That's your mom? Your mom's so white. Your mom is just white, 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 white. And then I'm like this. No. Because now they know. And they'd be like, but then I have to break it down. But my mom's not white. I said, your mom's white as hell, dude. How can your mom not be white? We have white ancestry, but she's not white. She just looks white. The white genes in that family was just stronger for her birth, while her sisters were high yellow, and her brothers are all high yellow. Only a couple of them were brown. But her dad's dad was a white man. Simple as that. A lot of her family doesn't want to accept all that. They just want to be black instead of accepting everything. So that's pretty much my family's problem, because on both sides, they don't want to accept their Native American heritage. They just want to accept their black heritage. Like being half Native Americans of a consent. And that's how they are. I will explain that in another video. But for this sole purpose story, I didn't know I was part of Native Americans until the 5th grade. And Miss Conrad, God rest her soul, and if she's still alive, thank you. But the thing is, you know, when I found out that I was more than black, it kind of fucked me up. But I didn't know how much more fucked up my life would get. So I made it through grade school, I started middle school, and I still couldn't get away from the half-breed jokes. And everybody who's mixed went to high school and middle school with me, I'm sure they got it too. But most of them were bigger than me, so most people probably didn't really bother them as much as they bothered me. And at school, I was so used to it that I just tuned it out. But on my job, when I worked at Kegler's, when I was washing dishes and busting my ass from the age of 16 to 19, 3 years, this one white dude. I don't really have nothing against him now, but at the time, when I'm 16 years old, I'm still trying to find out who the hell I am, or who I'm going to be. And I got this dude coming to the damn job every day playing, well, every weekend that I worked, playing the same 3 damn songs. The Thunder Rose, I Got Friends, and Low Places, and Achy Breaky Heart. I have nothing against Billy Ray Cyrus. Or Garth Brooks. Every now and again he might have slipped into Alan Jackson's Way Down Yonder on the Chattahoochee. But most of the time, he addressed me as Chief. And I'm sitting there like, why does this dude keep calling me fucking Chief? I got a name tag. I confronted him a few times on it, and he still just continued to call me Chief. And I just couldn't keep fighting that fight, so I just let him call me Chief until the day I fucking quit. After I quit and didn't have to go back there anymore, I didn't give a shit what the hell he called me. You know, but the point of the matter is, a lot of people view people on sight first and don't know what the hell they're looking at. But somewhere along the line, somewhere in our families, someone decided that we're going to teach hatred to every generation after whatever the incident was that started it. So if you come from a family of racism, you need to sit back before they start preaching their teaching of why you're going to hate this black person, or why you're going to hate this Asian person, or why you're going to hate this white person, or why you're going to hate all these people who physically haven't done anything to you. But somebody from their ethnicity, their culture, their history, their background, somehow or another gave your family the finger. And you took that finger, as pissed off as you were, and you went home. You didn't ask them why they did it. You just got mad. And then you decided that every person of whatever history or race that that person or those people come from, you're just going to hate them. You're going to raise your kids to hate them. You're going to raise your grandkids to hate them. And so on and so on. And here's how America has racism. It's a big clusterfuck of shit that no one wants to sit down and talk about. No one wants to get back down to the history of, well, when I was in my 20s, back in World War II, this black dude and this damn Cheyenne Indian, they beat me up in an alley. They mugged me. They took my money. I tried to report it to the military, but the military told me we was going to war. I had to worry about my personal issues later. And sure as hell, I got in the platoon with that damn Cheyenne and that damn nigger who beat my ass up in that alley. They didn't even know I was a fellow soldier. But by the end of the war, that damn nigger died for me, and that Cheyenne took a bullet for me. But I'm still gonna hate they fucking people. And I'm going to raise my children from World War II to Vietnam, Korea, to Vietnam, to Desert Storm, to Iraq. You're gonna hate those damn Cheyennes. You're gonna hate those damn niggers. And the script can clearly be reversed. It could have been a Cheyenne who got beat up by a black man and a white man. When I get old of this war, I'm gonna hate pale-faced people forever. I'm gonna hate those niggers forever. And somehow or another, they carry that shit with them. And they have children. And they raise their children to do the same shit. And it could still be said with the same thing with Asians that were in the war. When I get done, I'm gonna stay away from those Guayalo, those Gaijin, and those colored people. And those damn Indians. You know, so why do we all hate each other? Because no one is man or woman enough to call a meeting, sit your asses down, get 2 of every ethnicity. Okay, let's even it out. Get 6 of every ethnicity. 6 men and 6 women who are bona fide racist. Lots of security. Handcuff them to the desk. They can only be released to go to the bathroom. Keep them out of striking distance. So they can sit back and ponder why the fuck they hate people of a different race, a different ethnic background, a different culture. And we can fix racism by putting all the racist people in the room with the people that they hate and have them talk like human adults. I'm dreaming big time, right? Yeah, there's not enough swamp gas in Virginia for that to ever fucking happen. We don't have that many swamps, that's why I said that. But, you know, we do have a couple. Yeah, we got a couple of bayous down here. We got some in Smithfield. We got some in places I've been. But, you know, if we could do that, if we could have a table in a building like the United Nations and find out why racism is so powerful in America, we can stop it. I'm James Williams Jr. Suck on those facts for 23 minutes and some change. Be seeing you.